Hi, I'm Madhuli and I'm a sports psychologist. So, a lot of people ask me, what do you exactly do? Do you read mind? Do you motivate athletes? Do you build confidence in the players who are lacking it? Or do you develop the hunger to win in a team? Well, sports psychology is not just motivation, building confidence, and it is definitely not the 7.5 minute ka pep talk that you hear before a 70-minute game. Sports psychology is far more than this. Okay, to understand, now we all know sports. Let's understand what psychology is. According to the American Psychological Association, psychology is defined as study of mind and body behavior. So we all know what behavior is, and also in the context of sports. So our behavior in context of sport is the way we practice or the performance that we get. Now, how does mind affect that, and where is mind in the whole thing? So to understand the role of mind and how it is related to the performance, we will first understand what is the or how is the functioning of mind. I'll explain it in a very, very simplified way. Okay. Now imagine our mind as a computer. Okay. Now, like our computer has an input, processing system, and an output. Similarly, our mind also has an input, processing system, and an output. What is input? It's the sense organs that we have. Mental processing is the processing that happens in our mind, and output is the output or the result that comes with the organ of action. So what happens is our sense organs, they bring all the information that is around us to our mind. Then that information which is brought to the mind gets processed, and based on that processed information, our mind instructs our body to perform in a particular way. So I'll tell you an example that will explain it to you in a better way. Imagine I'm a batter standing at the crease, ready to bat, and there's a bowler at the run-up position. Now, if my eyes look at that bowler and they bring the information to my mind, it just brings that there's some figure that is standing over there. Now, when that information is brought to my mind, it starts processing. So when it starts processing, it starts looking deep into my memories, whether I know this bowler. Have I played her before, or have I played against her before? What type of bowling he does. So all these things starts processing inside me. Once all that processing has been done, then my mind is ready with the processed information and ready to instruct my body to play in a certain way or to prepare myself in a certain way to face that bowler. Okay. So in short, like we have seen, it's similar to what the computer does. In short, your mind is actually like a computer. Okay. And like your computer gets virus, sometimes our mind also gets virus. Okay, so what happens when our mind gets virus is that processing of information gets affected. So when I'm standing here looking at the bowler, my eyes have brought that information to me. My mind is processing this information, and then as it is processing, it brings the information back to me saying that in the last 3 consecutive matches, this bowler has got me out. Now, when that information comes up, what happens is it brings a sense of fear, anxiety in me, and that gets instructed. So when my mind passes that instruction, is like, okay, this bowler has got you out 3 times in the last consecutive matches, you have to be very careful. And then my performance doesn't happen the way I want it to be. So now when you understand and when you see that this is the mental process that happens, it happens in very split second. Okay, I'm taking a lot of time to explain all these things, but actually it happens in split seconds, right? So now what we as a psychologist do is we help you program or design a software that will help you achieve your dreams or your goals. So like any software designer or a programmer would be using 4 steps. 4 steps is ISCT. So identifying the problem. We also do that. We try to, talking to you, we try to identify what your problem is. How is that virus, or what is it that is stopping you from not giving your best performance? So what is that problem? Then we try to find solution to it. That, okay, what is it that we can do to give the result that you want? So for example, let's say you are not able to perform at your best during the selection trials. I mean, your performance has been flawless, has been very beautiful, but when it comes to selection trials, your performance is not up to the mark. What happens? We try to, that's the problem that we have, right? So then we try to understand what is the solution for that. What is the problem? Problem is that when I see the selectors or when the selection trials come, my mind starts thinking about what will happen, right? So what is the solution for that? And the solution for that is, how do I bring my focus back to what I am doing? Now, to do that, we will have to write the code. So the next step, after identifying the problem, finding the solution, next step is to code it. And then we design that program, right? In the language, we tell you the techniques, we teach you the techniques that you can follow in order to reach to that solution, right? And then once it is done, we test it. The fourth step is test it. So when we test, we see whether is there any bug in the program, or is there anything that we need to modify, change, and then that software is ready. So in short, your mind is a computer, and we as a psychologist and you are the programmers for your software that will give you the dream that you want to achieve. Okay, so thank you. In the next episode, we will talk more about this programming.